Okay, we're live. It did tell me, so I'm pretty sure we're live. Hi, everyone. Welcome
Hello.
to the first ever Explode Roundtable. It is happening. I actually cannot believe it's happening because if you knew how quickly we put this together, you would probably not believe it. So I just want to say a big fat thank you to these 10 amazing humans, plus me, who are all here with us today. So, before we do anything and before we talk about anything, I want you to get to know them because we have some new faces here that have actually never been on a round table with me before. So, I'm very excited for you to get to know them too. Let's start with Rachel, who you probably have met before and you're tired of hearing from her, but that's okay. She'll still introduce herself.
I've been around the block a few times, yes. So I joined, I thought that'd make a laugh. I joined Explode. I wanted to join the first round and I was too busy. So I think I joined the fourth round. But I was kind of in the stuck stage of my business. Things were going okay, but I would just needed to scale a little bit more. So what Explode taught me is to have a strategy, a set strategy, to clarify all my offers, ditch what I didn't love doing, and bring in more of what I did love doing. And from that, I have created a one-to-one signature program, which I didn't think I wanted to do, but it's working out really well. I also focus more on desire about what my clients want because I'm fairly like focused and steadfast on what I want. Sometimes I forget about what the clients want. So Des made me realize that you have to focus on what the clients want as well as what you love doing. All of this I've done in the past year whilst having the stress of buying and selling my house. And today I got my mortgage offer through.
Yay!
So finally, and we should be moving some point in June, or it could be July, but that's another story. So Explode helped me to strategize, helped me to make a big action plan, and it's now set me up without just kind of like having an action plan, without just winging it. Because in the past, well, for the past 20 odd years, I've just gone with the flow, but now I have a strategy, so I know exactly what I'm doing for the rest of the year. So that's very unlike me. I'm a Virgo, yes. I'm organized, yes, but I still like being really flexible, and I'm a massive risk taker. So that's what it's done for me. It's helped me to focus a lot more, which I really, really needed. Thank you, Des.
And that's really fucking awesome. But would you mind also telling us what the hell you do in your business, Rachel? Well, that would be very good to know.
I am a psychic business mentor. I teach psychic and spiritual people how to not only develop their psychic and spiritual and healing abilities, but I also teach them how to set up their own businesses should they wish to. So there's kind of two parts to my business. And I also run a psychic telephone service, which has gone through the roof the last year, and it's doing really, really well. And I'm going to make that into a subscription when I move because I didn't want to put too many things on my plate. So that's going to happen hopefully August, September time. So yes, that's what I do.
Very excited about that. Thank you. Stash, introduce yourself, please, to these kind people.
Just introduce me now, yes? Okay. No, it was a serious question.
Maybe start with what you do in your business.
My name is Stasia, but if you're my friend, you can call me Stash. And I am an email marketing and a launch expert. And I've been working with Des for as long as she's been in business, I think, actually.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is a long time. And was part of her paid community. And then I was in Explode last year. And it was an amazing experience because it came right after a year that was such a shitty year for me and just helped me to really bounce back. It was personally shitty year for me, yes, but our business is always depending on what's going on in our personal lives. So it's been an amazing bounce back thing.
It definitely has. Okay. Hannah, who are you? Nobody knows you.
That bitches. For those of you who don't know me, I am Hannah Walker. I am a sales coach, mentor, tea girl, whatever the fuck you need, basically, when it comes to say, oh, sorry, I swear for anyone who doesn't know.
That is unacceptable here in my world.
I am sorry. I will take myself to one side and have words. Put it in my performance review for this year.
Keep it professional. We are very professional here.
Professional. Okay. So, so I've worked with Des for about 2.5 years now. I joined her paid community after 6 months of basically the business at the time going to shit. Because I was running a photography business, and pretty hard to do that when you're locked in your house because of a global pandemic happening. And with one call, Des literally changed my entire life. She turned around and was like, why are you not doing the thing that you've done for the last decade, Hannah? Like, why are you not doing sales, mentoring, and coaching? And I was like, people don't need that. People are really good at sales. And she was like, okay. So I listened to her, and from that moment I haven't stopped listening to her, because she's literally not just given me the business that I have, but she's given me the life that I've got now. And no, let's see if I can make her cry. Come on, let's go. And I think I am one of a small group of people who have literally bought every single thing that Des has released in the last 2.5 years. Not just because I like her as a person, but because she's bloody good at what she does. And if you listen to what she does, what she says, and you actually follow her advice, amazing things happen. So when she released the first round of Explode, I was like, yeah, I'm in, like, let's go, let's see what happens. And I won't lie, I'd got quite complacent. I'd managed to replicate my corporate base salary and was like, this is all right, don't need to kind of do anything else. And she gave me a giant kick up the arse. And looking over their glasses. And yeah, the last year since, because it's nearly been a year since we did Explode, the first round. I can't take it seriously.
That's the point, darling.
Look at it. Since Explode, I've had 3 5-figure launches. I've had my highest cash month that was nearly triple the previous highest cash month. I've launched literally like just so many amazing things, but I've managed to do it whilst finding me again and becoming a lot more of who I like always was, and was kind of hiding a little bit, thinking I needed to be like a certain way. So yeah, I've got, like, I can wax lyrical about it, but there's lots of other people, so I'm just gonna shut up for a change. So yeah, that's me. Hi.
Tiffany, who are you, darling?
You know what? I think I'm going to start with my Explode journey, because it's going to lead into what I do now. So I was in round 3 of Explode, which I think was 6 months ago-ish.
Yeah.
And I've been working with Des, I think, a little over a year. I met you through another coach, funny enough, and I'm so glad. Kismet, things happen in life. And I had joined Explode to kind of help grow and expand the business I already had, which was a bookkeeping business, which we'll just that's my sentence. And in doing Explode, I did a lot of funny enough, personal work, and I finally embraced me and who I really am. And the Sexy Sultry Siren was born, and I all weekend have been mad ass crazy creating courses, master classes, all sorts of stuff. If it comes into my head, I write it down. Who knows where it's going at some point, but it will be there. And I've been so excited doing all my content. And so it's given me a whole new direction and trajectory for my whole entire career. I, like Hannah, had just, kind of gone and done the typical thing we were all taught to do when you finish business school, go into marketing or accounting or fill in the blank here. And so I'm so glad that I finally get to do what I have been dreaming of doing since I was 18. And so Sue Johansson, for all the Canadians out there watching, you'll know who I'm talking about. And I want to take over her. She's now in her 90s now, and I don't think she does any Sunday night sex show talks anymore. So somebody needs to pick that up and run with that ball again, because it's fun. And so yeah, I'm really excited to kind of just blow out and explode into doing that and teaching everybody to be sultry, sensual, sexy people again, because especially after the pandemic, we definitely lost that.
Definitely. And by the way, the glasses.
Well, except for Des, because the glasses are giving me gaga.
By the way, the glasses are for you to never see me cry. So.
Well, but how am I supposed to collect the diamonds?
Diamonds are for me, darling. Okay.
So yeah, I am so grateful to work with you, and actually several of you in here. And Rachel, one day soon I will be calling on you too, but unfortunately I only have so much time and energy in my spectrum for the moment, but soon. Thanks so much.
Thank you for being here, Tiff. Becky, who are you?
Which one?
Sorry.
I was just about to ask which one.
Sorry. I do realize we have, for the first time ever, two Beckys here. Other Becky, who is, yes, Becky Anna Marie.
Oh, me. Okay, cool. Yes, I'm new here anyway. So I am a neurodivergent self-advocacy and empowerment coach for late recognized autistic ADHDers, to help them to stop feeling like they're constantly a square peg in a round hole, and help them to have the audacity to be their autistic ADHD self instead, because they've had so long of not being able to do that, so long of being forced to keep themselves small, keep themselves hidden, hide behind a mask. And I really want to help them to break free of that and to be who they actually are. Joining EXPLODE for me was, honestly, it was kind of a no-brainer, because I'd been working with Des for a while, and literally I know everything that she puts out is just incredible. And even just her free stuff, you can get so much value, so much gold from it. Like, so many of us still go to all of her free events because of like how great they are, even though we're all paying them, we're all enjoying like everything that she puts out. So yeah, it was a no-brainer for me, but I was a little bit hesitant, not gonna lie, because it was a big investment to make in myself, and it was the biggest investment that I'd ever made in myself. And I didn't have this super successful business to be like, oh, well, I'll just, make it back next month or whatever. I didn't have that guarantee. And so for me, joining EXPLODE, it meant literally using all of my savings to do it. But I'm so glad that I made that investment in myself, that I made that brave decision, because that is a really big deal. To make that investment in yourself is a really big deal. And I'm so proud of myself for having done it, because it has been worth every single penny. Like, when I joined, I thought that I knew exactly who I wanted to serve. I thought I knew exactly how I wanted to help people. I thought I knew exactly where I was going. But then going through EXPLODE and implementing everything since, and processing everything up since EXPLODE, I completely shifted my business to the point of like, it is completely unrecognizable from what it was last year when I went through EXPLODE. And I didn't expect that to happen. I thought EXPLODE was just going to take me to that next version of me, but it actually did so much more. It helped me to really find me, to come back to me, to stop constantly looking to other people of like, what is the right thing for me to do, and make that decision for myself. Like, what do I want to do? What is aligned with me? And basically say like, fuck it to anything that's not. And yeah, do what I want to do, and really kind of find the guidance within myself to make those decisions for me. And one of the biggest things as well that I definitely did not expect was that my whole perspective on selling completely shifted as well. Like when I joined Explode, I thought that, you know, I was always just going to forever hate the idea of selling. But then within one call, I went from dreading the idea of selling to feeling excited about it, to having all of these ideas popping off of like, oh, I could do this and this and this and this. Like, because I'd learned how I could do it in a way that would feel aligned with me. So yeah, going through Explode just for the personal growth alone has been, yeah, worth every single penny. And I'm so glad that I did it.
Oh, thank you, Becky. Valentina, first timer on a roundtable, I think.
Yeah. Hi. So I'm Val, and aka the badass entrepreneur, but also a badass introvert. And for me, being an introvert and being in Explode, it was really important because, well, I'm going to tell you a bit about what I do, and then I'm going to get to the Explode part. So basically, I help educators and course creators build reliable businesses by teaching them everything they need to know to become business savvy and tech confident. And, you know, Explode is actually responsible for me being able to say that. And so I joined Explode 3.0 more than 6 months ago. And by that time, I'd been in Desi's world for many moons. And, you know, Explode was just like the next natural step. When I first joined Desi's world, the first problem that she solved for me was giving me back my confidence. I had lost it. And I think about a month after I joined her world, I just realized, you know, I'm back. Like, I trust myself and I'm going to take action now. And then Explode just took that to a whole other level. And I stopped procrastinating. So if you have a problem with that, it's going to solve the problem. I don't know how, but I haven't felt like, you know, not doing stuff. Today, I actually wanted to open Netflix and I was like, no, I'm going to go and work on my business. I don't need Netflix. And as an introvert, I thrived being in a small group. So for me, it was really important to have just a few people, and I was able to open up and communicate with them and create friendships. And I've joined their worlds also. So it was a great experience. However, I think the most important thing for me was to be able to confidently express my boundaries, like regarding my business, because I'm a teacher and, you know, I'm a teacher at heart. And most of the time, teachers don't want to upset. We try not to have opinions. We don't want to contradict, you know, everything just needs to be peachy. And we don't want to upset anyone. We want to be liked by everyone. And that was actually really hurting my business. So as a result of everything I've experienced in Explode, because Explode is an experience, when we say this, you can see that we've actually been through a roller coaster of emotions. And we've changed a lot in our lives, not just in our business lives, but also in our personal lives. And I now have a reliable business. I've had no cancellations for more than 6 months, and I have stable monthly recurring income. And isn't this what everyone wants? And that's just because I learned, you know, to express myself, to trust myself, to be confident. And yeah, that's because of Explode.
Thank you so much for sharing. Rose and Steph.
Well, I don't think she's going to give many comments, to be fair, but
I do think you should introduce both of you, though.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Roz. I'm known internationally as the Mannequin Lady. This is my supervisor, Stephanie, and she's my supervisor because 15 years ago, I never, ever set out to set up a mannequin company. I was going to be a retail consultant. That's what I was going to do, all like, you know, lovely and corporate and all the rest of it. But just a chance page that I sort of stuck up on my website, talking about mannequins and pretending that I had them for hire and ready to use. And that's where my business started. That's where my business started from, like 15 years ago. So this character is Stephanie, and she's brought in as that person who, what person? As that mannequin who took over my life with the abduction of mannequins. So I now speak for all of the mannequins. It sounds, you know, absolutely hilarious, isn't it? But it's got me in the press internationally. Like, I'm known internationally as the mannequin lady. So that's a really good accolade to have, right? But now how to build on that, how to have, you know, a completely amazing business, a completely amazing story that's literally from nothing to actually doing quite well in life. How to kind of like, how to do all of that. And the thing is that I was looking for a mentor. I was looking for someone, okay? Because I've literally just plowed through it by myself, somehow survived, but hang on a minute, we need to finesse this now. And I'm probably the odd person in the group, actually, because my business is old. I'm old. But I'm very, very young at heart. That's the most important thing. And I'm open to ideas. I'm open to all kinds of things. So what I'd like to say is, imagine this, that you're just walking down the road, and some people you bond with, some people you don't. You have conversations with people. Some people catch your attention, some people don't. You vibe with some people are like, I never want to see you again. Des is a person who I saw online and just thought, you know what? That's my girl. That is my girl. Because she has really, really helped me so much that when I came into Des's world, which is probably like 3 years ago now, I can't remember. It feels like forever, and I wish it was forever, but I think it was about 3 years. And it's just like, okay, so you're a successful business person, but now let's just look at all of the icing on the cake. So the branding, this, that, blah, 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 blah. And the most important thing is my story, which is why I say that, you know, this is why I have Stephanie in my, every time I go live, it's like, Stephanie, come with me. She's my supervisor. She's part of my story. She's part of my branding. And Des can teach you all of this. So let's go back to, we're walking down the street and we're just vibing with people, or we're not vibing with people. We will have conversations with the people that we vibe with that we might not be having in our messaging and our conversations that we're having online. When I went through Explode, I think I was actually the first one that signed up for it in the first round. So I'm the winner. Not competitive at all. I went straight in and I sat and I listened to everything, and I just thought, do you know what? This is exactly the right person that I need now to help me to go through all of this, to make sure that everything is okay, to really, really be able to put my word, that the conversations I might have with people face to face, but to be able to translate them online as well. And I think that's the biggest thing that I got from Explode and the program, is that the conversations we have offline should be the same as the conversations we have online. And when I write as if I'm speaking to someone. That's always been my thing. And this will take you through that, not only to confirm that, but just loads of other stuff, like, you know, offers and the messages that you're putting out. And the other thing that I'd like to say just quickly is that I'm now helping people with PR, small businesses with PR, as a small business owner who has been through all of that whole experience. But it was within this program that I realized, and Hannah and Tiffany have both referred to me as the girl who does PR, not the mannequin lady. So there's such a big thing in the messaging that we might speak offline, but how to translate that online. And that is that's definitely my journey with Explode. And thank you, because it's a difficult thing to do. It's a difficult thing to accomplish, right? But realizing that was the major thing for me. So yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Steph and Rose.
Steph and Rose.
Of course. Chris, who are you? Tell us. Maybe unmute yourself before you tell
Yeah, I
us.
tried that with a space bar. Didn't work, so I gave up. Never mind. Didn't mind. I'm Chris. I run what is now a virtual web design agency. I came to Des's World, I think now must be coming up to 3 years ago, I think.
Wow.
Something along those lines anyway. And when I first joined BBS, which is her membership group, I was in a position of 300-pound websites, overwhelmed, too much work. And that transformed me into pretty much 3x in those prices, 10x in those prices, sorry, get it right. And making a business that isn't overwhelming anymore. And strangely enough, that got to me a point last year where actually my work was dying off. I wasn't getting the inquiries in. I was beginning to wonder what on earth was going on. And as well as reiterating what everyone else has said about everything they've mentioned from Explode, I took a slight financial risk in the fact that I wasn't quite convinced I had 6 months of money to pay for it in terms of where business was at that point. But it got me to realize that I needed to step up on a lot of levels. I was still marketing to the people I was working with 2.5 years ago. I was not showing up as myself still fully. I was basically, stuck in a position where I needed to really, really shift myself on from. And something that came out of that as well was money mindset for me. And I was living in a scarcity world. And that was quite a big realization for me that I was there. And it was affecting what I was putting out and the energies that I was kind of surrounding myself with, I guess, at that point. It was a lot to take in. It was not 6 weeks and finished. It's still manifesting itself now in terms of where I'm going, what I'm doing, what's next, to the point where I've actually potentially invested more than I've ever done in myself. If something comes off in the next couple of months, that hopefully will be big. But that downtime last year has now turned into the highest cash year ever. Certainly the past 2 months have been the highest cash months I've ever had in the business by a huge margin. And the projects and clients that are coming in at the moment, and since kind of late last year, it started to pick up a lot, are bigger and better than anything I was picking up pre that point, even before the price rises and everything else that came in. So I think it's, everything everyone else has said, but it's almost, I think I described it as being ripped to pieces and put back together again by the end. And that is pretty much to me what it's done. And I'm still not back together again. And I don't think I ever will be, but it's all in a positive way. And it's been amazing to go through.
That is such a perfect description of Explode. Unfortunately, I cannot put it on the sales page because people will be terrified when they
It
hear
wasn't
it.
literally, but
And by the way, Melissa said, if you want to know what Explode will do for you, go check out Chris Wilcox's timeline and notice the change that happened from summer last year. Yeah, I concur. And speaking of Melissa, Mel, who are you? And why don't you have an espresso martini?
I drank them all. They've all gone. It's my new branding.
Typical.
Thank you. I beat Becky. I was like sitting back pretty here. Well, thank you for inviting me here. So I am Melissa. I work with people who are on the spiritual path and who are looking to enhance their intuitive abilities and really get into alignment with themselves and who they are, understand the amazing superpowers that they have within, help them unleash it, and then help them create the life that it is that they wish to create. I have just shocked Des that she's fallen off her chair.
I've left.
She's like, it's just too much now. It's all just too much. So I found Des through the recurring revenue program, which helped me launch Soul Space, which completely changed my business. I then joined BBS, which really helped me understand myself more as a business owner. And then suddenly I heard of this Explode thing, and I didn't see any pitch. I didn't go to any of the stuff. I was just like, oh, and I kept seeing it on my timeline, and something came over me, and not an espresso martini. And I was like, I need to join this, right? I was like, I need to join this. And I know that my higher self, my guidance team, like never leads me wrong. And I remember contacting Des going, tell me more about it. She was like, oh, Melissa, you and Explode, that would be crazy, right? So I joined with 3 days to go, I think. I was like, oh, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to say this, right? Testament to Des. I said to my husband, I was like, I'm about to just invest all this money in Des, by the way. And he was like, yep, go for it. Oh, I just got goosebumps. He was like, yeah, go for it. Because he's seen how I've changed every time I've made that investment. And it's not a small investment, but I think that's part of it, is that, you know, you have that commitment and you have that, you know, you need to, like, for me, I wanted to earn it back. And every time I have invested, I have earned it back. In Explode, by understanding that I was doing this to show up for myself, to say yes to who I am, and to say yes to my full potential. That was it. I was like, right, there's some potential in there that Des can see that I don't know where it is. And I'm saying yes to it. And whatever comes, I'm going to do. And in that program, I launched my highest ever ticket thing. I was like, it's not going to happen. And it was having people like Hannah and Alex and Chris and Becky and Roz, who were all there in round one with me, that was spurring me on and going, yeah, you can do this. And don't not do it. And I remember putting it out there, like shaking. And I sold it out, and that paid for my whole of Explode in there. That verified my offer. That helped me understand how people really see me outside of, you know, the bullshit that I say in my own head and in my own mind. And it really, I think, helped me align to who I truly am, how I serve, and who it is that I could be, not should be, but like could be in my business. And Explode gave me not just the confidence, but the strategies to be able to do that, the kind of thought processes behind it, the authenticity to be able to really speak about my wins, my vulnerabilities, my experiences, my dreams, my life behind the scenes and what was going on, and really kind of know how to share that, and how that helps people get to know me. And did I know that it would get me invited on a load of interviews? No. Did I know that it would connect me to people that I wouldn't have been connected to otherwise? Did I know I'd make friendships with many people that I see here on the screen? No. Did I know that it would give me my highest ever revenue year? No. My kid just screamed when I said that. Like, this microphone hopefully has got a microphone as well. That was part of that too. I was like, I need one of these. Did I know that I would have written a book before the year came out? No. And was it all down to Explode? Would I have got there anyway? I don't know. But what I do know is that this really gave me the focus. And someone said it earlier, Val, I think, that we can procrastinate, and when it's our own business, we don't always know what we're doing. Like, I've got my notebook here from Explode, and I can come back in there and go, oh, okay, I can actually work on my business because I know what I'm going to do, rather than sit there going, what should I do? Like waiting for a reaction. I've got tasks, I've got things. We're in the alumni group, so we have tasks come up and little summaries from what we've done, because it was a lot. They were like, 2-hour calls every week. I was in Explode 1.0, so that was a year ago. We started July last year, and we can keep coming back. So I know that it's paid back in thousands of ways, not just revenue, not just confidence, but in lifestyle as well. Thank you, Des.
And an espresso martinis.
And I have drunk myself an espresso martinis for sure.
Good. Last but so not least, Becky, who are you?
Last. You put me on to last. So I'm Becky Jane Stevenson. I am a women's identity mentor. I work with women to stop settling for less than what they want in life, reconnect back in with all of the stuff that they've been desiring, that they don't admit to themselves, by building their self-trust and their confidence to go out there and actually get it in really big, bold, wild ways. And it's so much fun. And just because it's a flex, I am also a mother of 5, just to kind of shed the whole kind of belief that you cannot be in business when you have kids or multiple kids. It can be done. So I've worked with Des since 2020. So I joined in lockdown, and now it's crazy, it's like 3 years. And I joined Explode in October because the first round was full. So I wasn't fast enough. I was too slow. So before I joined Explode, I felt like I'd gone really too far off the path and the direction that I wanted to go in. I'd created a couple of communities that just didn't work out because I wasn't being myself. I wasn't being true to who I wanted to be online. So I was using a lot of different personas, a lot of masking, and I just felt really stuck, and I was really, really demotivated. And I think if I hadn't have applied to join, I don't think I would have continued. I think I would have let it get the better of me. So it really was kind of crunch time for me. So it was a no-brainer. I didn't hesitate. Des will confirm, I was straight in her inbox. I'm like, I want a spot. So like I say, I was doing a lot of things, being everywhere, showing up, trying to be omnipresent. So I was burning out all of the time. And I couldn't see how much I just wasn't being true to myself at all. And I feel like part of that is why everything I was putting out there was just not working, because it wasn't clear. And things were just constantly shifting. I was creating one thing after the next and just hoping for the best. So Explode really was kind of not just business changing for me, but life changing in terms of personal mindset as well. So Des, working with her for the 6 weeks, and obviously in the alumni, is helping me to realize that I was enough as I was. I didn't need to keep creating these big fancy things, that actually everything that I do was enough, and that women wanted what I did. So we stripped away everything, all of those personas, we dropped the cosplaying, we stopped hiding, and I stepped out there. So it really was a must for me. So Explode for me has brought shit tons of confidence in some of the biggest ways that everybody is in my personal life, in real life and online, have obviously commented in the last 6 months. Deeper understanding of my own desires as well, because I wasn't admitting those. I wasn't really truly digging deeper into who I was being, who I wanted to be. I've created offers that I now feel excited as fuck at creating. The latest one that Des still can't get over the name, which is hilarious, that fully fit with who I'm going to be, and my sense of humour, my wit, my sass, it all gets to be out there. But the best ones has been the boundaries, not just in my business. So those boundaries, I was responding to messages the minute they shot through. I was doing a lot of access to me for free that I was actually giving away, that was obviously just really hemorrhaging time away from my business. And I was actually accepting people that really weren't the right fit for me, with a fear of kind of turning them away because, you know, revenue, income. So those boundaries have kind of shifted now in terms of who I want to work with. Don't have to worry about turning potential clients down that I know wouldn't be a good fit, and I refer them on to others. And I'm not responding to everybody's requests either. So my one-to-one time, those prices are up, and barely anybody gets access to me for free, which is amazing. The boundaries, yes, the boundaries in my personal life,
Now, this is probably a tough one that people don't expect from Explode, but it does go hand in hand with your business. I have had to have some really difficult conversations with people in my life, friends, relationships, and I've had to let some of them go because of the energy draining and the sabotaging that was going on, and they needed to happen for me to step forward in the way that I have done the last 6 months. So that was a necessary part of Explode. So now that I've been able to do that, I enjoy things with much more excitement. I have a brand I am so proud of, that not just the visuals, but who I'm being online and offline. I kind of accept the value of what I do and increased my prices to match it. Deeper level of self-trust. There is literally no fear in showing up the way that I want to in some ballsy ways, and not worrying about the imposter stuff happening or the doubt. So since Explode, I have created 2 amazing programs, which were both successfully launched. One-to-one clients that are an absolute dream to work with, which is incredible. I still have a thriving community of women, and you know that's an absolute dream to run as well. Recommendations, friendships, guest experts, and last but not least, which it's important to mention, my revenue has gone up 316% since joining Explode. So that was a really big one for me. So it means I get to do the stuff I love to do, the day trips out, things for my kids. So it's really not just about the money, it's who you're being in your business and who you get to become. So it gets to be really effortless, really fun, and really exciting, but you got to do the work. So yeah, I'm going to shut up now.
I'm just gonna take a second to appreciate everything I just heard because it's pretty amazing. Okay. A reminder to everyone listening that watching or listening, that Explode begins on Tuesday. And this is 5.0, which is crazy because I am now realizing, because of something someone said, July. Yeah, I think the first round started in July of last year. And it's just been probably even more life-changing for me to run than for people who are on the inside. And some of you, especially those of you who are in the first round, can vouch for the fact that I was terrified of putting this thing out into the world because I was convinced that nobody would join it. And I sold out the first round within a few days. Because I think at the time I'd never really launched a program that, well, first of all, gave so much access to me because it's such a small group of people, but also is so much focused on mindset and on strategy. Usually I'm just like strategy, because I'm like, I'm not your mindset coach. I'm not your therapist. But with Explode, I wanted to go really deep and make people think about things that they are usually uncomfortable to think about. And I think that's the best part of Explode, that, you know, all that resistance, because we all have resistance in our day-to-day lives where someone will bring up something and we're like, oh, no, I'm not even going to address that. And those are the things we have to address. And in Explode, those are the things we do address in life and business. And I wanted to read something, if I can find it. One of them is, so we had a lot of people who wanted to be on this roundtable, but couldn't because they're either traveling or, well, because it was full, to be honest. So I wanted to share something from Iris, who really wanted to be here. She says, to me, Explode has completely transformed the way I think about my work, the way I show up, and how I move through the world, all to align it with what needs to exist so that my business can thrive. I felt more confident in my process, more excited to show up, more aligned with my life and with my work. It's changed my personal life most of all to align with the business I lead. There's a lot more, but I feel like that part, the fact that her personal life has changed to feel more aligned with the business and vice versa also, that's a really big deal. We have a whole week in Explode called Alignment Week. It is week 4, I want to say. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's my favorite week because I think one of the biggest problems for people in this space is that they're doing all these things in their business and they never stop and ask themselves the question, but what do I really want to do? And what even aligns with my personality, with my cat, yes, with my business goals, with where I am going, with my lifestyle. A lot of people just do what they're told by their business coach or someone else. And I'm not that person. Like, of course, I can tell you what to do if that's what you really want. Sometimes my clients do request that. But most of all, I want you to actually realize what you want to do. That's the most important thing, because then you can take my advice or leave it. I think nobody who is coached or mentored by someone should do every single thing they're told to do. I think they should actually ask themselves, what do I really want? And then based on that, decide which advice to take and not to take, because no coach and mentor knows everything, except for me. I'm just kidding. So a question for you guys that Sarah asked, that I have been asked many times over the last year, is because so many people watching are in BBS or want to join BBS at some point. How do you perceive the difference between BBS and Explode? Like, what made, obviously I teach completely different things in both, but like, what do you feel made Explode different to BBS in particular? Hannah? Oh yeah, raise your hand if you want to say something.
Yeah, so like, if you think, so BBS is obviously epic, like it's brilliant and there's so much there, but I think Explode is like not just BBS on steroids, but like full Lance Armstrong doping level steroids. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so intense. And the stuff that you do is just so, like, it's not just fundamental to business, like you say, it's fundamental to like life, like those, like being able to actually look really deep and think, no, this is what I want to do. And it looked, especially on our round, I know that it looked different, like so different for every single one of us. Like, some people went, put in firmer boundaries, other people put firmer boundaries. So like, I put firmer boundaries in, but actually opened myself up more to clients and gave more access, because it allowed me to realize just how much I'd overcorrected and I kind of gone the other way. But most of all, for me, it was pure accountability. Like, I will openly admit, and this might come as a shock to a lot of people, but I am a very lazy person. Like, if I don't need to do something, I won't. Like, if there's an easy way of doing it, well, I'm going to find it, because that's how this works. And I'd spent sort of a year and a half in BBS, like, not going to lie, doing bloody well and like kind of building a pretty good business. But it was just that, it was good. Whereas Explode was the kick up the arse and the, right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to turn up every week. I'm going to implement. And I was really, really lucky that it hit me at exactly the right moment that I needed it. And it's not for everybody. That doesn't happen for everybody. But for me, it literally turned up as if the universe was like, you need it. And it gave me that accountability. And then being VIP and getting the access to Des meant that I didn't have to wait for masterminding calls. I didn't have to get, a 15-minute slot. I could spam the shit out of her every day on Boxer and be like, oh, I've had this idea, and oh, and about this, and oh, I thought about this, and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it's, if you love BBS, which obviously you do because you're in it, so it's mint, then Explode is just like 40 levels above in the level of awesome, and probably more levels above in awesomeness. So yeah,
typically what happens is someone who's in BBS joins Explode. Obviously Explode has an ending, so once Explode ends, you are still in BBS and you still get, which is pretty much what you did. Like, you stayed in BBS after Explode and you kept getting the support there. Mm-hmm. Mel and Tiff, you have raised your hands, right? I'm not imagining. Okay. Mel, you want to say something?
Yeah, echoing what Hannah said also about the laziness. I'm right there with you. But if you how I see BBS is we've got this amazing supportive community with the business advice and the help and support that we dip into. And it's very self-led, right? With the community. With Explode, it's almost the opposite. It's the strategy and the like everything you need to know, from the mindset to the strategy to the questions you ask yourself. And it's very specific and it's very precise. And you have literally a week. I mean, you can do what you want, but you have a week to complete the tasks should you wish to take up the challenge. And then for me, the community came with it, and also with the alumni, it's really nice to have that. So for a personality like mine, which likes the accountability and likes the focus and likes to be like, okay, start here and build and build and build and build, it worked really well for me. Also, I think with the investment that you're putting in, like for me, I was like, I need to milk this, I need to make the most of it. And just like Hannah, I was there on Voxer, like, there's got this. I did my brand survey as well while I was in there, and I was like, oh, here's my brand survey, what do I do with this now? So yeah, it is quite different. And for me, I just seem to be able to extract like all the gold from it, like more easily, and assimilate that and action that in a shorter period of time.
And for those of you wondering what they're talking about, there are 2 levels to Explode that you can join. You can join the regular Explode, or you can join Explode VIP, which includes one-to-one. Yes, one-to-one. Voxer access to me throughout the entire program. And we also have some epic new bonuses that you may want to check out. Tiff, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, that week we did alignment, that was the week I finally embraced and realized I was playing life safe. I had created business doing something I was really great at, and I'm still really great at, but not something I love at all. And not something that if people meet me, they're like, you do what for a living? You have a business doing what? Yeah. And I was slowly trying to figure out, well, where do I fit in, and where do I fit in? I'm that square peg in the round hole, Becky. That was my life story in a nutshell. And I finally just like it hit me when we did the alignment. I'm like, this is where I'm meant to be. Like, yeah, I love being a vegan and I love sharing all that with people. And I love all these other things that I like, fitness and stuff that I love. But I'm like, I kept trying to put them on and say like, oh, this is going to be my thing. It never fit. And now I'm finally doing this, and like stuff is just happening as a sex and intimacy coach. Like, just ideas are going here. My Trello is going to be full. I'm going to have to pay for some upgrade for extra memory or something. I just like, I'm like, temptation. Well, we'll figure out what that is later. Like, figure out what goes in there later. Ooh, allure. That's a good word. I'll figure out what that is. It's my first. It's gonna be my first masterclass. It's called Allure. I do too. I'm so excited, guys. So excited. I can't wait. But yeah, so it was so much different than BBS. BBS gives you all the tools to help grow your business with some support from some wonderful other people who are all very like-minded and very compassionate, supportive people. But in Explode, you get this little intimate group that all of you guys are just trying to grow and rise together. And it's like, you have a little group that you guys can just throw ideas out at each other. I think session 3, we all started a Facebook chat so that we could keep going afterwards. So if you guys get a chance to figure out how to do this, I will never, like, I'll never be able to express how amazing it was. And like that everything just changed for me. Like, I can't even. Thank you so much, Des. Like, you've really changed my whole life. And I can't wait to be there in October for the Halloween party. Jessica Rabbit. I'm so doing it. See, you can see me with red hair then. There, I'll get a wig. Solve the problem. Done.
Only small problem is that I was thinking of the same costume. We can be twins.
Oh, yeah, we could.
Jessica Rabbit twins. Okay, let's not get people imagining these things just yet or ever. Okay. So yeah, finding your purpose, apparently a side effect of Explode. Little did we know. Oh my God. If you guys see the chat that's happening here between these people on Zoom, you will just, that's the end of the sentence. Stash, you wanted to add something?
If I may.
You
If I
may.
may. Yeah, so talking about, it's funny how Melissa said it was like super specific. The thing is, yes, it is, but also to kind of talk about what Hannah said. And this is something I've been thinking about a lot lately, especially with the conversation. I don't see them a lot now, but I remember a few years ago there were like big conversation about like whether like formal education is a good thing or we should just ditch it, and like people should not have formal education. But as somebody who has a formal education and somebody who actually taught at the university, I can see that when you have that formal education, you have the depth. So you don't no longer necessarily need all the how-tos, because you're able to create those how-tos yourself, and you create your own methods and your ways and strategies. And it's not to say that that Explode, that's like you come in like, today we're gonna look at this theory and let's just like in these methods. No, it's not what I'm saying. It's not like a university formal education, but it is giving you the depth of everything. So it's not gonna be, this is how you make an Instagram story. Because let's face it, have those, like you bought all the courses about how to make Instagram stories, you bought all the courses how to something, I don't know, like create a SEO friendly website or whatever. Like you have all this, you already like, and if you are looking into investing in your business for real serious growth, like that's your next stop, right? You have bought all the courses of, I'm just gonna like make things worse for myself, like on email marketing. Stop buying email marketing.
That's a good way to put it.
Unless it's mine, okay? No.
Yeah, of course.
No, but you have all the how-tos and all the steps and everything, and still something is not clicking, right? Because there is like a real true benefit of having the depth. There is true benefit of having the real groundwork, the real, like the ideas and concepts behind all the framework, all those, the how-tos, right? So it's basically digging really, really deep. And I'm not even reading your comments, you guys. The comments in the Zoom, like I'm not gonna go into there. And no, you got me distracted. Thank you so much, though. Kind of my own fault. I could have just like turned off the comments like I usually do. Anyways, and just to say that, yeah, it just this depth and understanding, but also some clear things that we need to do. So it's not also that, you know, like fluffy thing that you're like, okay, so I need to change my money mindset. How do you do this? It's really, really, it is very specific, but it's on a deeper level. I think that's the best way I can explain this to you.
Yeah, welcome to my life of trying to sell a program that is so difficult to explain because everyone has such wildly different results. It's always a challenge to put it into words for me as well. And something someone said.
The last thing I wanted to add that I forgot, that people made me forget, was that you can actually go back. Yes, it's all your fault. You can go back and rewatch it and redo it. And I know a lot of people are doing this. And I think this was the idea with the synopsis also as well. But there are a lot of, like, I go back and rewatch it and then learn something else or get a new idea, get new understanding of something. So it's basically one-time investment, but you get to go back and reuse it. Like every time you finish with it, you can go back and start from it again and keep building in that way.
It's good you reminded me to say that, because I think it's not that common in this industry, but all of my programs have lifetime access for free and an alumni group, except for BBS, obviously, because it's a membership. It always makes me chuckle when someone somewhere cancels a membership and goes, I don't get to keep the material. Yeah, we've had that. But obviously with Explode, you get lifetime access to the entire program and any future updates and the alumni group where we have a nice community going. I did want to bring something up because I think I saw someone in the comments say something about it. But those of you guys who have quite busy lives and who have kids, maybe Becky who has 5 kids, she's basically raising a village, guys. How did you find, because obviously a lot of people are afraid of commitment when they are investing in themselves and their business. And when they hear that, okay, this is a 6, technically 7-week program, there's a call every single week. How did you manage to show up to every single live call? What happened if you didn't? Did the world go to hell? Did you not manage to take advantage of you see where I'm going with this? Did you not manage to take advantage of this program? Did you realize, oh my God, I just wasted all my money because I can't show up to the live calls? Like, talk to us about that. Rachel?
So what I did was I put every call in my paper diary, and the 8 o'clock ones, I instructed the husband and the child to go upstairs to bed an hour early so I could have the living room to myself for 2 hours. I do not work past 9 o'clock for anyone, only Des. The afternoon calls was slightly more difficult because I think one was 2 till 4, and obviously I have to go out to pick up said child at 3. So that was the only one that had to catch up the next day. But I managed to watch 45 minutes, then I caught up the next day. Have to pick him up from school. Love the 10 a.m. because 10 a.m. is my time. That was my most favourite time, 10 till 12. But yeah, I just put them all in my diary and got organised. Definitely.
Paper diary. Love that. I can't remember who raised. Tiffany, did you raise your hand again? Yeah. What's up? Tell us. Talk to us. Oh, you're muted. Muted.
I think I'm the only one not in Europe, correct? In the panel?
Oh my God, yeah. That is crazy.
So being at Canadian time can be challenging. Unlike Rachel, the 10 a.m. ones, I couldn't make them. It was like, I think 2 or 3 in the morning here. And I do love you, Des, but I need to sleep. Sometimes it's my one time of the day where my brain gets to shut off. But I think I did make an early call once. I regretted the decision after because it kind of ruined my whole day. I was like, I need a nap at 10 o'clock. I need another one at 2.
I remember that.
Yeah, so I just did replays, and you know what? It's funny. My daughter and my son both recognize your voice every time because I'll just put them on. They should learn how to do business too and all about branding. So like I just had them kind of like listen in while they were coming in, and so they got used to hearing them when I'd replay them. And I tried to make as many live calls as I can because you get the best conversations in the chat that you don't get to participate in in the live ones. But yeah, it's just one of those things. You make the time, and then as obviously I was restructuring everything I was doing. So for me, I'm now starting to implement all the stuff that came out of Explode. I'm still best investment ever. But yeah, you figure out the time. And I just decided to add my kids in on that journey because I want them to learn to do whatever they love in their life instead of being told what to do with themselves.
I love that. That's amazing.
So, yeah.
I didn't even know that actually. So I'm just learning things along with you guys right now. Val?
Yes. So for example, I have 2 businesses. My teaching business is teaching English as a foreign language, and this thing with the teachers. And I also have a 6-year-old. And I was able to do all the calls. It's just 2 hours a week. It's not like it's, every day you have to show up. And what I did, like all the others, I just put it in my calendar and I just canceled everything. So it's all about prioritizing. Yes. So I said, no, I can't do that. And I'm not, boundaries. I wasn't good at that, but I started having them. And you were saying about BBS earlier. I see BBS as like a business hub and community. And I see Explode as the place where you go and do the work, like the inside work and with the confidence and the mindset. So you can have all the tools, but if you're not able to implement, if you just, you have them. And I think that was me. A lot of time I had access to everything, but I wasn't taking any action. So I think Explode just kicked me in the bum, and do this. So yeah, regarding the time, it's just 2 hours. It's not a lifetime. It's just 2 hours for 6 weeks. You can do that.
I agree. Anyone here who mostly watched replays? Wow. That's insane. That's actually shocking to me. Okay. Wow, you guys really planned this out, huh? Put it in your calendars and everything. It's almost like this investment was important to you. Cool. That's great. So yeah, and thank you for bringing up the times, because I completely forgot to even talk about that. But yes, because I didn't actually realize Tiffany was the only one here who's not in the UK. That's hilarious. But contrary to what you see on the screen, we have people from all over the world in Explode. This just somehow worked out like that. And for that reason, we have 3 call timings that I rotate. And these are pretty much the same call timings that I have in BBS and in any of my programs, because we have just found out over the last 6 years that they work for my client base. So we have 10 a.m., 2 p.m., and 8 p.m. calls, UK time. And that means that most people can make most calls, usually. Because obviously it's hard to make every single call, and most people do not make every single call. I mean, Val just said she has, apparently, which is amazing. But normally people cannot make every single call, and it's not necessary. There is nothing wrong with watching replays. Not to mention, we do recaps in the alumni group afterwards, and the tasks are always going to be there for you to complete. So technically, and this is why I'm so big on having alumni groups, I don't want to run a live experience, and then as soon as the live experience is over, that's be gone. Just be gone from my life. No support, nothing. No, this will never be the case. And Becky, I'm curious about your experience, because you have half a village that you're raising at home. And I do wonder how, because a lot of people always are worried, especially moms or people maybe who have jobs, because some people still have a job that maybe they want to leave by joining Explode. How did you find the time to do the tasks, to show up on the calls, to do the work, really?
I think for me, to be fair, time for me was always a non-negotiable. There's one boundary that's always been enforced, and I do share a kind of perspective with the women I work with and the women in my audience, that you are a woman first and foremost. Your identity and your whole being doesn't shift into just being mum. It's really important that you keep hold of your whole identity as an individual being in the world. So that's something that I've worked on over the years and really fine-tuned. So it was really not that difficult to have things in place, rather than like asking and saying, well, I've got this call, do you mind? Luckily, like 3 of mine, almost 4, are a lot older, so they're in school and nursery, which made it a lot easier for daytime. So it's just a case of making sure there was somebody there to look after the little ones. But it wasn't a case of asking either. It was, I have a call, here's baby, take them into another room. So yeah, it wasn't really difficult for me to do. So I was able to show up to all of those calls live, and obviously watch replays when I needed to as well. So yeah, not too much of a big deal for me. But I guess in terms of anyone who was wanting to join that has little ones and does struggle with prioritizing that time, that is one of the boundaries that will need some light shedding on it through that process. Because if you're working on your business, if you're passionate about it, it's yours, it's your thing, and you grow with it. So we, you know, it has to be that non-negotiable to carve that time out for you. It's really important.
100%. And I'm just reading I'm simultaneously reading the chat and the comments, and it's a lot. Sarah says it's like y'all are inside my brain. Kimberly says, I'm currently in the process of building my own brand. You could not have come at a better time. This is perfect indeed. And I said divine timing because when you guys join Explode, for which, by the way, we only have 2 spots left, 1 VIP, 1 regular. Yes, another one got taken today just before this roundtable. When you join Explode, apart from all the crazy bonuses I added, you will get access to, oh my God, my screen literally just went blank as I said that. What the hell? Oh my God, is this some sort of a sign that we should end this? Jesus Christ, that was really freaky.
We're still here, if you're wondering.
I can see you now, but my screen literally went blank, then went like, you know how the TV, when it's getting broken, like with the thingies? Oh, that scared the crap out of me. I thought my laptop turned off. Okay. What was I saying? Oh yeah. When you join Explode, apart from all the bonuses, which I added last week, you also get access to my entire branding course, which is a step-by-step strategy to building your own brand. And that's not even listed on the sales page because I like to surprise people with extra value. But now you know. So yes, you're going to get a step-by-step strategy for building your brand every step of the way. So I want to make sure everyone knows that. Now, last words. I want to, first of all, remind everyone you have 3 days left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, whatever, Monday. You have until Monday to join Explode because our welcome call is on Tuesday. Bye, Becky. And because I've kept these lovely people here for a very long time, though mostly their own fault because it took them 45 minutes to introduce themselves. So don't blame me. I want to ask you guys, the 9 of you left, what would you say, because we have a lot of people watching this who are very much wanting to join Explode. They're very much thinking, oh my God, is this my next big move? Is this the time for me to make a big change? And every single one of you talked about how it was a big investment for you, and yet you made it anyway. So what would you say to someone who is still on the fence? Raise your hand if you want to say something. Okay. Chris, you haven't spoken enough. You tell us.
No pressure to go first. I think you've got to trust in yourself and be aware that if you think that something needs to change or develop or move on, do it. I took a leap at this. I'm not one for spur of the moment things, and Des was quite shocked that I joined.
I was
when I did, and I just knew it was like, right, do it, sod it, whatever, and yeah, basically.
I was shocked when many of you joined, actually. You guys, I hope someone screenshotted my reactions when some of you joined because it was hilarious. Let's see. Becky. We have only one Becky left.
Yeah, now I know you're talking about me. I think for me, if you're on the fence, then there's a part of you that knows that this is what you need. This is what you need to do to get to that next level, that next version of you. And just to echo what Chris said, that if you're already on the fence, there's already a part of you that is thinking this is what I need. So it's really a question of, do you trust yourself? Do you trust yourself to make that investment in yourself? Because I mean, you've heard from all of us talk about how amazing Explode has been, not just for moving our businesses forward, but for ourselves, for our own personal growth, and really up leveling in massive ways that none of us expected. So yeah, it's really, do you trust yourself to make that leap and jump into that unknown and just see where it takes you?
And then in Explode, we're going to keep working on that trust, because literally the name of one of the weeks is trust. Yay. Melissa, I'm just going by the raised hands.
It's cool, that, isn't it? Okay, if you're not everyone's ready for this, right? But if you're ready to say yes to your fullness and your full potential and who you really are and really why you incarnated here, like if you are ready to actually be the version of you that you like decided when you were looking down on earth to actually come and be, this will help you get there in a personal and business sense. Like this is if you don't want to play games anymore, you actually want to come and do it and be it. That's you, join it. If that's you'd like that to be you, join it. If you're like, nah, I'm not ready for that, wait 6 weeks. Right? That's what it will do. That's what it helped me do.
Yeah.
I've seen so many of the people in here and in the alumni group also land into that as well. So the proof's in the results.
And proof is in the pudding. I've always wanted to say that. It sounds so cool. It is an actual saying, right? I didn't invent it. Okay, good. Stash? Muted. Wouldn't it be fun to like not tell them when this happens and then they just keep on talking and we pretend and we're like, yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Just to say, as I said, I've been working with you I remember buying an Instagram Pro course from you 5 or 6 years ago. I don't know, you did the math, at $10. Yeah. I think that's what I bought. And I've been in a lot of your programs since then. I've been in BBS since the very beginning and everything. And I also work with other people, not gonna I did buy some other programs from other coaches, and the level of what you deliver. So if you are thinking, will this be worth my investment? Yes, because you could have charged 10 times that for that program. You would probably also sell it. I know you will. With your skills and your branding and everything, you have helped people sell programs at 10 times that, right? So you would be able to do it for yourself. But I always really admired and really respected that you could have charged 10 times more, but you didn't, because you are really, you really value that these things should match up. There are people out there blowing the prices out of, I don't know, which part of the body they do.
That's because God told them to.
Whatever reasons. But you are literally you deliver compared to what more than that. So if somebody's thinking, is that worth my investment? Yes. And every single program you sell, that is much more than people invest. And yeah, I hope I said it right. It's getting a little bit late for me. I'm a mom. I get up every single day at 6 or 5:30. So so it's getting a little bit late for me. And I'm in Denmark, so I'm always an hour later here. So but yeah, if you're thinking the only thing standing in between you and saying yes to the last few spots is will I get my investment back? Yes, if you do the work, if you do the implementation. Because if you just buy it to buy it, then nothing will happen, right? But if you do the work, you will get a lot of amazing things.
Thank you, Stash. Tiff, did you want to say something? She's like, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I feel like after the God comment, we need to shift you a little bit so we can see Lucifer, because it seemed like a perfect moment. Just saying.
Just so everyone watching who does not know us knows, no, we're not a cult. We do not worship Satan. And my cat's name is not Lucifer. It's Lucifer. Yep. So for the love of laptops, just please know that. Okay. It's Lucifer. It has to be said.
Yeah. If you're on the fence about Explode, I guess, yeah, I agree with what everybody else has said. There's an inkling in you that obviously wants more out of life, wants more out of your life, out of your business, out of everything. And if What are you waiting for? There, that's Hannah said, what are you waiting for? You just go. Jump, take your leave off the cliff and let your wings fly. It's time to just, yeah. Well, please don't hit the rocks in the bottom. Make the jump wide enough. But take a leap of faith on yourself. Is there ever going to be a right time? No. Just do it. Pull that ripcord and go. What are you waiting for? You can sit here for another year, 10 years waiting, but why? Just do it. We all have faith in you. If we didn't, this wouldn't speak to you.
Ooh, that's powerful. And for the record, a lot of my clients, including some of you guys, do sit on the fence for a while. And then when they finally get off the fence, it's like, why did I do this to myself? Why didn't I do it sooner? Because sometimes there's legitimate reasons, and then 9 times out of 10, there aren't any. But we're scared, or we don't trust ourselves enough. I find that usually it's trust, but we'll discuss that more in Explode. And the cool thing about Explode is that it's such an intimate experience, and not in that way. But all my other programs are much larger, and Explode is up to 10 spots only. So we're going to get close and personal with your business, and it's going to be just very, well, sometimes fun, sometimes challenging, but it's going to be a very deep experience because my eyes are going to be on your business and there's nowhere to hide. So with 10 people, there's nowhere to hide. So it's going to be interesting. Anyone have any last words for us before I let you guys go? What are you pointing to, Hannah? You guys realize you're all pointing to different things. Oh, the hands.
Everyone else is like, so when you raise your hand in Zoom, everyone else's is yellow, but mine is white.
Oh my God, yeah.
In with the
why is yours white? That is so weird.
I feel profiled. Like my brain's singing "White Woman Instagram."
Well, since you're talking anyway, any last words?
Yeah, hi. I'm like unmute. Fuck it. Yeah, I know Mel wants to share something, so I'm going to keep this really brief because I know that's going to be epic. I was just going to be the slightly more controversial one that says, like, whenever people say, oh, you know, if you feel like you need this program, like it's for you. Do you know what? If you feel like you want it, just do it. Like if you, obviously, as long as you can financially afford it, none of us are those wanky coaches that are like, I'm just take out a loan, blah, blah, blah.
I will have your credit card number now, please. Stat.
Well, you nearly did the last time I paid for something. A picture of my card. But yeah, I think like sometimes you just have to do something because you want it. And for me, that was exactly what Explode was. It didn't seem like it was just, I'd invested in lots of stuff. I could have quite easily just carried on with what I was doing and the resources that I had. But I just sat there and thought, you know what? No, I want to do it. Like I just want to do it and I can afford it. So okay, let's go. Like, and genuinely was the best decision that I've made. Like probably even more than, well, apart from obviously meeting you and getting into your world. But if it had been physical things that I've signed up for, BBS is always going to be first because it was, the reason for everything. But Explode, without a doubt, is the thing that's just changed so much for me, both personally and business. And getting to be able to go back over everything every time I feel like I need a kick up the arse, every time I need that little Desi on my shoulder, it's literally the best thing that you can do. So if you need it, or you feel like you need it, then why aren't you signed up? And if you if you want it, again, just hit the button and just do it, because you will not look back. Trust me.
Yeah. Thank you, Hannah.
All right.
Who did you say had something to say? Oh, was it Mel?
Yeah.
What's up, Mel?
Well, there's one thing I want to say before I say what I'm about to say. I wonder how many people who are in Explode 2.0, 3.0, 4.0 and now, and what will be 5, joined because they saw people in the previous versions just like step up and like, yeah, I want a bit of that in my life. And they're like, I needed to not be off this, right? Right. So don't be that for 6, 7, 8, like just join now. Okay. But you know, I was just sitting here and I was like, I'm just gonna, you know, I had my cards in my hand and I pulled a card. I've actually pulled 2 cards because it's been that long. First card I asked was, what, like, what would you get? If you came into Explode, what would you get? And the card, I don't know if you can see that, it says blessings and abundance. And that's what you get. And you can see how he has got his hands in this light, this spiral that seems to be coming from his heart. He's looking down. It's like this connection. Look at that alignment as well. And it's not just the abundance. It's not just like, oh, well, I'll get my money back and be this. It's the blessings that come with that, that as you stand up as your authentic self, as you understand who it is that you are, as you lead from the heart space and from knowing this is not a prescription, do this, do this, do this. This is asking the questions of you so that you come up with your own answers. And that's that. It's not me. It's what God told me, right? Has come through. So that was the one I got very excited about. And then while you were all still chatting, I was like, what do they all need to know to get off that fence? You literally can't make this up. Trust the universe. It says here.
No way.
Just trust the universe. Just trust. And there's a conversation going on in the live that says we manifested Des. This is what happens when you've got a desire out there. And I wonder how many of you, somebody is trying to manifest you standing up in your true power, in your true self, so that they can be helped by your unique magic.
I got goosebumps.
Goosebumps.
Wow. That's a perfect way to finish this after 5 hours. Thank you so much, guys. Honestly, this is the first ever Explode Roundtable. And I think it went pretty damn well, mostly because of the faces right here. So thank you to everyone who took 2 hours, almost, an hour and a half of your time to do this with us. It means the world to me. I did not cry. I held it together. I'm very proud of myself. The rest of you who are watching, please follow these brilliant people. I will tag them again tomorrow. I will tag them many times because you have to follow them all. Okay, do it now. Join Explode by Monday. After Monday, you are cut off because we begin and I need to be taking care of the people on the inside. So we will not be open for you to join after we begin. And anyone here can vouch for that. Thank you, guys. I love every single one of you. Those of you watching, I don't love you, but I like you. Some of you. I'm just kidding. Thank you guys for being here with us. I'll see you soon. Bye.